Hi everyone, and welcome to the debate class. So today in this video, I'm just going to go over a few quick kind of basic things, and we'll have more detailed videos to come. Just to tell you some more about the styles of debate that we'll be doing in the class this year. The first style we're going to look at is cross-examination debate. This is also called a policy debate. So this debate style, you would have a partner, so it's two people versus another two people, and you're arguing for a change in policies, which basically equates usually to laws. This style of debate involves a lot of research, and you need to know a lot about current events because oftentimes what's happening in the news changes the way you can argue what you're arguing. I've had people who have had cases that are completely kind of made useless by something maybe like the president says over the weekend. So it's something to keep in mind. The topic we're doing is the actual UIL 2020 topic. So that way, if you're interested in competing in this style of debate, then you can just go ahead and start competing right after we finish this unit. And the topic for this year is the United States federal government should enact substantial criminal justice reform in the United States on one of the following: forensic science, policing, or sentencing. So that's the topic put out by UIL. I'm not sure if they realized in February kind of how big of a hot topic this would be. But that's the first thing we're going to look at this year. The second style of debate that we'll learn is called Lincoln-Douglas debate. And this is also called a value debate. So this would be a single person, so you do not have a partner in this one. And you're going to debate whether something is kind of like moral or has inherent value. So the topic for the fall this year, so LD, they have a fall topic and then they'll change to a different one in the spring. But the fall topic is when in conflict, public health ought to be prioritized over individual liberty. So we'll examine that one later in this semester. There's also other speaking events that I'll introduce you to later in the year, like informative and persuasive speaking, prose and poetry, just kind of all of the general UIL debate and speaking events that you could possibly compete in. So we're going to go over just some quick, like first day almost vocabulary that you need to know for the course. So the first thing that you need to know is what separates kind of the debates that we're going to be doing from just maybe like a casual argument you're having with a friend over something. So the big difference is that we're using argumentation. So the formal process of making an argument where there's specific rules and guidelines in how you're framing your argument. So there's really 3 steps involved in argumentation, and this is what they are. So you'll see that every great argument, you have data. You're gathering your evidence to present. You're establishing a specific claim, which is also known as a proposition in debate. And then you're preparing a warrant, or really just a statement that shows how the evidence supports the claim. You have to link these things all together to create a cohesive argument. And I think one of the great things about debate is that often, you may not be the best speaker in the room, but if you have solid arguments, if you can build a case that fits that formula every time, you're most likely going to win. So the major formula that you use when you're creating all of your main points in a debate is you're going to usually state the data first. So you quote the scientist or the statistics that you're going to use. And then you have the warrant in there. So you have that statement that's going to link it back to your claim, explaining how it's important. So this is often called a link. And so that's one of the biggest things judges are looking for in an argument. If you don't have that warrant there, that link, then your argument doesn't really make sense. And it's you just kind of spitting out data without actually forming the relationship between the data and what you're trying to say. So here's like a short example. We'll look at a lot more of these kind of as the year goes on. But breaking it down, here's an example of that. So your data here, limited English proficient students are one of the fastest growing school-age populations in the US. And most of the cost of providing federally mandated instruction falls to states and localities. So then your warrant would be, or that thing that's connecting the two together, is that current state and local resources are inadequate to meet growing demands and ensure student success. So if you didn't have this statement in here, and you just read the data and then the claim, then you wouldn't have that thing that's tying it together, if that makes sense. So your biggest takeaway today should be the link, the idea that there's something that has to tie your claim and your data together. Without that, you're basically just kind of having a discussion without a whole lot of actual argumentation in it. All right, so that's your brief introduction to debate and the process of argumentation. You'll be seeing some other videos that you should watch and some activities also popping up on the Google Classroom. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I hope you have a great day.